Hello and welcome to this video on equity-linked structured products. So this is the final topic in structured products. And here we're moving away from asset-backed securities, things like CDOs, CMOs, and we're moving more towards structured products that give us different payoffs. So these structured products change the nature of the payoff. So they've got embedded within them either simple or exotic options that can pay off, have different payoff shapes in different environments. Once you start looking at basic options that we've looked at already many times, I'll just draw the basic option payoff diagram to just jog the memory. If you can combine these together, you can get any sort of payoff that you desire. You might have to pay for it, of course, but the point is that once you put exotic options in here, we can have jumping around, we can have a payoff profile that suits any investor really, and that's what these structured products are about, largely these equity-based ones. Of course, the wrappers that these equity-based investments set up, if you like, the vehicles that are used to set these things up could change many things about the nature of the returns. Obviously, it can change the return payoff. It could change in terms of providing leverage. But that sort of thing, or it could change payoffs such that you're bearish on an underlying asset, so you win when an underlying asset goes down. These are all sorts of things that you can have bolted onto these equity-linked structured products. But it could change the nature of returns as well from a tax perspective. So you might be taxed in a slightly different way because of the way legally the structure has been set up. So that's the point that they're making here at the start. There are some calculations here when we're thinking about tax wrappers. And then you're going to need to know your basic European structured investment products here. There's quite a few of them, but you just need to be familiar with the payoffs and what they're designed to do, and maybe recommend one of them given a view on the market. And yes, we've got some other rather eclectic examples here of different types of payoffs we can generate using embedding options inside these structured products. Okay, so equity-linked structured products, we're not here just passing through returns on some underlying collateral like we were maybe with mortgage-backed securities. So it's not collateralized by a pool of private assets as such. Generally, these structures are giving you a payoff. Instead of being long the underlying like this, you might get a payoff that looks something like this. So within reason, you win if the underlying goes up, you win if the underlying goes down, but maybe you start losing again if the underlying goes down too much. That's the sort of thing in red there, payoff as the underlying goes up and down, that we're going to see when we start looking at these structured products later on. Now, the general idea, as we said at the start of structured products, is that investment banks will create these structures and charge fees for doing so. So issuers of these securities will pay fees. The people, or the investors demanding these securities, are demanding them because these securities meet their requirements in terms of the payoffs that they provide in different states of the world. So remember, complete market can provide a product for any type of investor in any state of the world. And these options are focusing on changing payoffs to meet that, to meet that kind of completeness idea. So here's an example: a certificate of deposit, which is something that a bank would issue. A certificate of deposit a bank would issue to an investor. The investor would invest, and the bank would grant them a certificate showing that they've deposited at the bank. That's actually transferable. It could be